Australian news. First, father fighting for life in hospital after alleged helmet attack at Perth unit complex. The horrified family of a Perth man watched on helplessly as he was brutally attacked in his own home. The Lockridge victim's wife and two young children screamed in horror as a man, 43, allegedly struck with a hammer. The screams that she was letting out were just blood-curdling. It wasn't a typical scream, nearby resident Jesse told Nine News. It broke me. It's something I'll never forget. Police were called to the unit complex on Arden Bay in Lockridge about 2 a.m. today after reports a man was smashing power boxes and causing a disturbance. It's alleged the victim, aged in his 40s, went on to investigate the noise and was attacked by a 43-year-old man. A neighbor and an off-duty nurse rushed to the man's aid and he was taken to hospital, where he underwent surgery for a fractured skull and a broken jaw. He was injured mostly on the head. That's where there was the most bleeding, but I had to put a bandage across his neck because his jaw was open. Nurse said. The man was fighting for his life in hospital. Police allege the attacker continued on, smashing windows and breaking into another unit. The 43-year-old was charged with grievous bodily harm and 10 counts of causing criminal damage to the property. The charged man has appeared before the Midlands Magistrates Court. Major audit of Australia's mobile black spots to start this month with the help of posties. Telecommunication companies will be put on the test when postal workers hit the road to check phone signals around the nation. The nation's first ever independent audit of mobile coverage will get underway in October, aimed at finding black spots and building a clear picture of the network. Sometimes it really differs from what the mobile carriers say is available, Communications Minister Michelle Rowland said. For the first time, consumers are really going to have something they can rely on. Australia Post vans and eventually long-haul trucks will help Accenture carry out the audit, which will cover 180,000 kilometers of regional roads every year until 2027. Each vehicle will contain mobile phones from Australia's major carriers, Telstra, Optus and TPG, carrying out a range of functions on a loop, including making phone calls, sending text messages, uploading or downloading to test signal strength and quality. The telco's coverage maps use predictive algorithms to identify areas where they believe there should be phone signal, RMIT Associate Professor Mark Gregory said. There's often situations where there may not be coverage in areas where it says there is coverage. 70 post offices in regional towns will also be fitted with measuring devices. It's about safety. Particularly in the regions, people rely on coverage more than ever before, Rowland said. It's patchy, depending on where you are in Australia, it can be very good. Our capital cities mostly enjoy world-class 5G coverage, but even in busy suburban areas, residents might notice their phones dropping out in certain pockets. In a city or a urban environment, whenever you have buildings, hills, trees, freeways, these are all going to block the mobile signal, Gregory said. The national network will face another major challenge when 3G is turned off by Telstra and Optus on October 28th. Previously delayed over concerns Australia wasn't ready. There hasn't been enough testing, Gregory said. We don't fully know the extent of the problems that will occur when we turn 3G off. There will be people that end up with no coverage. Telcos say 3G only areas will have no loss of coverage as a result of the switchover, but there are also concerns for other technology that relies on 3G, including some medical devices and farm equipment. Get ready, don't delay, make sure to check your tech, Rowland said. It's very important for carriers to not only listen to the concerns from consumers, but also act on them. You can check your own device by texting 3G to 3498. Telstra and Optus are carrying out a national campaign which is expected to reach 90% of Australians before the switch off. Both telecommunications companies say they're committed to improving the network in regional areas and have invested billions of dollars in recent years to address black spots. The first cruise ships have docked at Adelaide's outer harbour today, making the beginning of the 2024 cruising season. For the first time in over 10 years, ships will visit some of South Australia's most iconic locations. It's a fantastic way to see Australia. It offers tremendous value to our guests and is fantastic for the South Australian economy, Megan Coffell from Princess Cruises said. The season, over 20 first-time voyagers are set to visit the state's shores, including both luxurious cruises and family-friendly options. There's expedition ships if you want a bit of a smaller, more intimate experience, and then the really large ships here that have more value for money, Tourism Minister Zoe Batterson said. For the first time in 15 years, ships will visit both Victor Harbor and the Fleurus Peninsula on luxury French cruise line Ponant. Last cruise season brought in $215 million into the South Australian economy, and this season could generate even more, with nearly 300,000 passengers expected to visit the state. Cruise season will run until June 2025. Trans people my biggest fans, says exiled Liberal MP. Expelled Liberal MP Moira Deeming said gay and transgender people were her biggest fans in a new recording unearthed as part of her defamation battle with Victorian opposition leader John Pesutto. Deeming said she did not hold homophobic or transphobic views in the audio played in the federal court on Thursday, which was the second time an unexpected recording has emerged during the trial. There is no evidence I have those views, Deeming said in the recording. My biggest fans are gay and trans people. Deeming said she could find a group of lesbians to stand with Pesutto at a press conference, and there's no smoking gun for anyone to reference, as he raises concerns reporters would try to tear me to shreds. Deeming is suing her former political boss over comments he made after she attended a transgender critical Let Women Speak rally in March last year that was gate-crashed by men in black who performed the Nazi salute. Earlier, the court was told Deeming had skipped a party room meeting in February last year while Parliament was sitting so she could get her hair done. Senior Victorian Liberal MP Georgie Crozier said it was ridiculous anyone could miss the gathering for a hair appointment, and she was surprised to discover the real reason after initially giving Deeming permission thinking it was to attend a child's medical appointment. Texts revealed in court showed Deeming had asked Crozier for permission to miss a party room meeting without going into details. The meeting coincided with the day of her maiden speech to Parliament. Deeming's barrister, Sue Chrysanthou, SC, put to Crozier that her client was scolded for not attending despite providing notice, which Crozier rejected. It's Parliament. You don't get your hair done at Parliament, she said. Chrysanthou asked if Crozier, who does not have children, had taken her client's parental responsibilities into account after the Liberal MP insisted she was aware of colleagues who had to juggle responsibilities. In her response, Crozier said a hair appointment was not a sufficient reason to miss a party room meeting. Deeming previously told the court the men in black who performed the salute had nothing to do with her rally, and she did not see the gesture until they were escorted away by the police. Pesutto has denied any wrongdoing against Deeming, who first received a 9-month suspension from the Liberals before being expelled 2 months later. Crozier said she rejected any assertions that Pesutto had lied in a press conference after the rally. It's my recollection he never accused Mrs. Deeming of being a Nazi, she said. Earlier this week, Deputy Leader David Southwick said he secretly recorded a 70-minute meeting between Deeming and senior Liberals in the days after the rally as an insurance policy. Sandgate. Malibu billionaire allegedly stole sand from public beach. The ritzy city of Malibu is famed worldwide for its golden beaches. But beneath this picture-perfect image, the community is fighting a multi-million dollar war against its rapidly eroding shores. As rising sea levels wear away the coast, residents have united to fund a restoration project that pumps sand back into Broad Beach at a cost of over $31 million. Now, billionaire businessman and baseball team owner Mark Attanasio has come under fire for allegedly stealing sand from Broad Beach to prop up his own $30 million mansion. James Kohlberg, Atansio's next-door neighbor, filed a lawsuit in August 2024, accusing the businessman of using construction equipment to scoop significant amounts of sand from Broad Beach. According to the California Coastal Commission, this isn't the first time Atancio has allegedly done this, court records show. In 2008, the Coastal Commission sent Atancio a notice claiming he had scooped sand from the beach for a different house he owned down the road, and constructed an illegal seawall made of sandbags along the public beach. This case is about a private property owner using a public beach as their own personal sandbox, the 2024 lawsuit stated. It claimed that Atancio used enormous excavators to scoop sand from Broad Beach despite its historical concerns of sand depletion, potentially exposing local marine life to pollutants and restricting public access to the beach. Plaintiff, a next-door neighbor to the offending actions, has observed and videotaped the defendant's repeated bad acts, the lawsuit stated. Photographs of the excavators at work on the beach were included in the court documents. Atancio has denied any wrongdoing. In an email to Bloomberg, his attorney Kenneth Eldridge wrote to Atancio's limited liability company has acted in 100% compliance with all its permits.